welcome to the Bella Vista Radio Club's June 2021 virtual meeting. My name is Tom. My call sign is Whiskey 5 X-Ray November Alpha, and I am the current president of the Bella Vista Radio Club. Thanks for joining us this evening. I hope that you and your family are healthy and doing well. We would like to begin on-site meetings in the near future. One possibility may be to meet at a park that has adequate parking and have an informal meeting / tailgate during the summer and fall months. But we need to find a large permanent indoor location before winter, as we now have 144 members. VE testing has resumed at a new location thanks to Ryan Wolf, KE0CZQ. VE testing will continue at the Harps Food Store's corporate office, which is located at 918 Gutensohn Road in Springdale. The testing sessions are the second Saturday of the month at 2 p.m. and the next testing session will be June 12th. Due to the current COVID-19 restrictions, we may have to limit the number of people in the exam room at any given time. And so we're requesting that folks register in advance so we know how many to expect and possibly give you an estimated time for your test. We will test everyone who shows up. If you plan on attending our June 12th session, please contact Don Cooper, KC7DC, the BVRC Licensed Testing Coordinator, at KC7DC, Kilo Charlie 7, Delta Charlie, at ARRL.net. Some reminders: the ARRL Field Day is June 26th and 27th, and BVRC is already making plans to host a great field day. Keep watching our website for news and updates. And we have a special event station coming up. It's celebrating the 185th anniversary of Arkansas statehood. It runs from June 15 to June 20 between the hours of 1400 Zulu and 2100 Zulu. It's run by the Razorback Contest Club, and the call sign will be November 5 Alpha. There are more details posted on the Bella Vista Radio Club Facebook page. I would like to welcome a new member, Clay Jennings, Kilo India 5, Papa Victor Delta. And like I said, that brings our total membership to 144. So thank you, Clay, for joining the club, and thanks for your membership. And thanks to the kind offer by John Williams, Kilo 5 Delta Victor Tango, we will be able to continue our Wednesday night tradition of meeting on the air at 2100 hours local time using his Skywarn repeaters. The information on accessing the repeaters: the Fayetteville repeater is 147.315, positive offset, tone of 97.4. The Green Forest repeater is 145.310, negative offset, tone of 103.5. The Bentonville repeater, 146.865, negative offset, tone of 103.5. And the Huntsville repeater, 443.625, with a positive offset, 97.4. And the BVRC 2-meter Wednesday evening net has a new operator in the net control rotation. Welcome Patty Snodgrass, Kilo India 5 Hotel, Oscar Lima. The net is at 8 p.m. on the BVRC repeater 147.255, positive offset tone of 162.2. This evening we have a reprise of one of the November YouTube presentations. 2 weeks ago, BVRC member, longtime ham, Elmer, and dear friend Paul Dixon, Kilo 5 Yankee Hotel, became a silent key. In his memory, we would like to share Paul's last radio-related video. We've had several new members since that video originally aired, and I thought it would be fitting to hear from our dear friend one last time. Little background on Paul. Paul was a loving father, grandfather, and husband. He was a humble, genuine friend and went above and beyond to help those that he not only loved, but a lot of times never met before. He was kind to everyone he met and always reminded those around him to speak positively because you never know what another person might be going through. A tinkerer at heart, Paul served in the Air Force as an electrical engineer, working on communication towers during the Vietnam War in the Philippines. He later went to Germany and served there as well. He was an experienced ham radio operator, first licensed in 1961. He rose to the rank of extra class operator, the highest license in amateur radio. In 1995, he received call sign Kilo 5 India, K5YH, and in January of last year, he was assigned call sign Kilo 5 Yankee Hotel. He was a member of many amateur radio clubs, including the Arkansas DX Association, ARRL, ARCAN, BVRC, and the Ozark Wireless Society. He was a proud recipient of the DXCC Challenge Award, the premier award given to hams. He made 107 entities using the digital mode, and 136 entities through mixed modes. He also participated in statewide emergency response drills at the direction of Governor Hutchinson. He was an Elmer to many. It's my Elmer, my friend, and an Elmer and friend to many, many others. And he will be sorely missed. Let's take a look at Paul's video from November of last year. Well, we are at the QTH of Paul, Kilo 5 Yankee Hotel, and as you can see, we've got an antenna on the ground, and we are going to replace the antenna that is up there. And this is part one of the antenna tower video. And we have Mark Watley, Kilo 5 X-Ray Hotel, on the tower. And we're working on getting the tower tilted over. Right size.
Very good, well organized.
Hi, I'm Paul Dixon, K5 Yankee Hotel. New call sign for me, I had K5YH for 25 years, and there started to be too many KKs, so I decided to go to a 1x2, and I came up with K5 Yankee Hotel, or Yahoo, as a few people call it. But anyway, I've been in a ham since I was first licensed in 1961 as a novice. And so anyway, I've been in and out of the hobby a lot. I was WB5 ABF, DL5 DW when I was in Germany. Came back and then got the KK5II when I got my, what was it, the advanced. And then I kept it when I got my extra because, you know, it's such a unique call at the time. So I kept it for 25 years. And but anyway, I'm enjoying the new one. It's easier to say, it's easier to hear on the phone, and kind of go from there.
So, Paul, tell us what you're doing today with your antennas.
Okay, the big project today is we're putting together and hopefully going to stick it on the tower today, a TX7, or TH7, I'm sorry, antenna that I was actually gifted. Someone, it had been in a barn. Fortunately, it was a dry barn. It was all put together. It was not corroded a lot. I took it all apart, cleaned all those sections and everything, and put it all together. That took a while. And the person that gifted it, he just wanted to get it back in use. He had bought it new, used it a few years, but he was one of the older hams here in Arkansas. And so that was my purpose in putting it together. Mark just put up, K5YH just put up the same antenna, and he's been most helpful going through, making sure we're getting the parts all correct and everything else. Did order a new ballon for it, since it had a little age on it, and also I got a more heavy-duty ballon, one that is far greater than 300 watts, and running an amp. I decided I needed to get the bigger one. And so that's kind of where we're at, Tom.
Okay, and for those who may be newer hams, how many elements and what bands?
Okay, it's a 7-element tri-bander. And but being 7 elements means that it has more gain to it. It's got a better front-to-back ratio than my 3-piece beam that I've used quite extensively, and I've had real good success with it. But anyway, it's just got a little more power to it. The boom is longer. It's a 24-foot boom, which is pretty long. It even has the top support of cable on it to keep it from sagging, and especially in bad weather or icy weather or something like that. So, but it's a high gain antenna, and it's been around for a long time. I think they're still available by special order, and parts are readily available. So that's kind of where we came from, and that's how I got the antenna. And today, Tom came over. He's working on the antenna. Scott, K5SAA, came over. He's helping, and Mark's up on the tower right now putting some counterweights on the tower. It's a fold-over tower, so we're putting some extra weight on the fold-over part because this antenna weighs about twice as much as the antenna I have up there. So we're going to try that as an experiment. Hopefully it'll crank up okay and be more balanced instead of putting so much stress on the tower. When you get a 75-pound antenna, I've got the heavy-duty rotor for it, and so when you get those out on the end of an antenna, you've got a pretty good load out there, I'll put it that way. And my tower breaks over at 30 feet, so the other part of the tower at 30 feet is the counterbalance. So that's what we're doing. We're adding counterbalance weight to it. And we'll know when we crank it back up, after we get the antenna on, how well it will work. And if we can keep it even up top, mission accomplished. That's what we're after. But we need it can be a little bit top heavy, but not as much. It doesn't put as much stress on the cable and whatnot when you're cranking it up or down. So that's kind of what we're doing right now.
And how tall is your tower?
The tower's about 53 feet. It sure is. And I changed out the mast to 2 inches. I've already done that. So this antenna should just slip right onto it and be good to go.
All right, we're going to break here, and then we'll do a little bit more in your shack and look at some of your equipment and talk about some of the modes that are your favorite.
Sure. Okay. This is my equipment over here. I've got really everything I have is used, with the exception of the Kenwood TS590SG model. I've had that about 3 years now. And of course, the computer and the monitor are new, but other than that, the amp is a Clipper Canal from the 80s. It's still working. It's not putting out the amount of power it used to, but it's still working. And then MFA 1.5 kilowatt series tuner. And that's pretty much it. I've got my rotator up there, and it's a pretty simple operation. My main concern right now and what I work is primarily FT8. Sometimes FT4, depends on the bands. And but anyway, I've gotten a lot of fun out of that. Right now, as far as countries, and I've only been doing it like 3 years now, or 2.5 years. I've worked and confirmed 170, and as you can see, I've got 170 to go. I'm right at the break-even point with what I've got and what I've need to get. I've got about 30 more countries, but I don't have them confirmed yet. So that's where the dilemma I'm in. A lot of these people aren't on Logbook of the World, and you just have to end up sending the QSL card. And but there are ways to get confirmation on it, and it takes a lot of work and whatnot. But anyway, that's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to getting the new antenna up. It'll have a better front to back ratio, and that's the big thing. Right now, with the propagation the way it is, I've been getting as much off the back of my beam as I do the front part of it. There's no directivity there. It's almost like you're moving around a dipole up on the antenna. It's really strange right now, but propagation is really coming into play. What time of day it is, first one thing and another. But it's been pretty interesting, and learning about the propagation and the end of it. And so anyway, that's where I'm at on that, operation-wise. And I've got DXCC, of course, and then DXCC digital, both. And that's where I am as far as the ARRL stands. That's all.
And I noticed got a plaque up there with the sweepstakes.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, sweepstakes comes the week before Thanksgiving, generally. Don Banta got me into contesting a few years ago, and his cousin comes over from Harrison and works, John Jones. And anyway, we worked sweepstakes, and sweepstakes is, you really have to listen to it. And you get a lot of disqualifications because you didn't listen, and you'll have the, whoever has the whatever year license they were first licensed, like mine would have been 61 if I were using it, but usually we go by someone's call sign. W5JJ is John's call sign over in Harrison, and that's a club call. and then Don has K5YH, and under those call signs, and usually we'll always win the Arkansas section. For sure, last year we won the Delta division contest also, so we did pretty good last year, and we've never won overall because it's tough. You're competing with the East Coast, West Coast, all the big boys. So, but as far as this sweepstakes in Arkansas, is kind of hard to get. So, anyway, we've had a good time with it. Scott, K5SAA, has been involved in it over the years. It's just whoever we can get, usually 3 to 4 operators, and get together and operate 24 hours out of 28 is the way it's set up. But sweepstakes, you get addicted to it, and it's a lot of fun. They have CW and phone, so that's pretty good on that.
All right, we're going to break, and we'll come back one last time.
Okay. Well, the antenna project's almost ready to put up. We're not going to be able to get it on the tower today, but it's ready, and 1,000 screws later, here we are. So, but that's what everybody's been working on today, leveling it up and getting some extra ballast on the tailpiece because it's a heavier antenna. It weighs 75 pounds. The current antenna I have weighs 35. So we put some extra ballast on the tailpiece. So hopefully it'll stay a little more balanced when we start putting it up. But anyway, today it's getting late, so everybody's tired. Thank everybody for coming over, and we'll kind of go from there. But in all my years, this is the biggest antenna I've ever had. So I'm really thrilled to get it. So thank Chuck.
So reflecting on your long history as an amateur radio operator, what is the takeaway after all these years? Your feelings about our great hobby, and any advice that you would give younger hams?
Sure. Hey, this is a lifetime project and a lifetime hobby. It's wonderful. Been at it a long time, but every time they come out with a new technology like FT8, that's exciting because it's pulling signals out of the mud, literally. And it's you don't hear just a bunch of hash. You don't know what's in that hash. Now they're decoding that hash, and the signals carry a long way. It's low power. If you're a general and above, I would get on FT8 as quickly as possible. Doesn't take a whole lot to get it into. Depends on what radio you have, and but by all means, get into digital. Get into CW. That's my next project. It's been 20 years, I guess, since I made any CW contacts, but I think I want to go for the triple play, so I need to work to all states on CW, and that'd be a good challenge for me too. So between FT8 and CW, those are my goals. It's kind of re-inspired me to get back into it.
Well, for those who do not know, Paul is a very active mentor. We call them Elmers, and I know he's helped me out a lot, and he's always there to help others. And he is the Bella Vista Radio Club's man in charge of our Elmer 911 program, and so please take advantage of going to our website with any questions you might have. No question is ridiculous, and we're there to help you. And Paul would be the first one to say we're there to help you in any way we possibly can.
Absolutely. We have 30-something people, and one of them for sure will know the answer. And we can call them and say, hey, can you call this person, or email them or whatever, and we'll get your question answered one way or the other. Might be wrong, but we'll get it right. But there's enough expertise out there with the other people. We will get your question answered.
Well, Paul, this is W5XNA saying 7-3.
Well, this is Paul, K5 Yankee Hotel, saying 73s, and we certainly enjoyed it, Tom.